Hey friends and family, welcome to Marcie Creates. This is Marcie. Welcome to Tutorial Tuesday. And today I have a boho glam necklace tutorial for you using the Jesse James Beads Rhodonite bead strand, the newest of the Pantone strands that they have. And also I am mixing in mascarpone bead mix. And as you can see, here are some of the beautiful, beautiful colors we're talking about. I'll let you get a gander. And I thought these colors went very well together and looked really beautiful. So this is what we have left from the mix. I've already pulled out what we're going to use, so let me show you that real fast. So tonight we're going to be making some dangles, and we're going to make a Lariat style necklace. And I have this gold, pretty suede, I guess it's leather, and I think they call it suede lace actually. And I just did a very long piece. This is probably 2.5 feet, but this is, if you want your necklace to be really long, the longer you want to make this. If you want it to be shorter, then you're going to make it shorter. Like I said, this is a 2.5 inch piece. And where we're going with this is each end is going to have dangles. They're going to hang down. I'm going to show you how we make these in just a second. We're going to use a oblong textured round item, focal connector. Also could be an earring finding. And we're going to use 18 gauge silver wire. We're going to use some 26 gauge gold wire. And as you can see, I have my bead strands, my dangles here. So the first thing that I did is I attached this to the leather. So that's what we're going to do. And basically, it's just an overhand knot. And then later, I came in with the 26 gauge wire and I did a messy wrap, which we will do later. That'll be the last thing we do. But before we do anything with the dangles, I thought we would go ahead and literally... Oh, and another thing I wanted to point out on this piece is you can see there's a little hole in there. I'm going to be threading something through there, one of the dangles, so I'm going to make sure that that is hanging in the bottom of this, and I'm going to tie this to the top. Literally, it's just an overhand knot. You can glue this if you want. That's totally up to you. I am not gluing mine because I'm going to be doing the wire wrapping later, but if you prefer to also glue, I recommend like the E6000 glue. I have good luck with that, and it's pretty easy to work with, I think. Some of the others kind of squirt out and get all over. Okay, so basically, that's all you're going to do is make a overhand knot. You can double knot it if you want. Like I said, later we're going to come in and we're going to take that tail piece and we're going to wire wrap. So I'm not too concerned with that right now. So for the dangles, a couple things going on here. I made 3, and we're going to have 3 on this side. So we'll have a total of 6. And I am just mirroring what I did here. So what I did here is I made a very long one and did a wire wrap technique, which I will show you how. And then these are 3-inch head pins that I did messy wraps at the top, and I attached with some jump rings. And we're going to start by finishing up our dangles and then attaching them. So this dangle, these all came in the mix. The Rhodonite, the blue, and some of these spacer beads came in the Rhodonite strand, and then several of the other more neutral colors came in that mascarpone. So I basically just did, you know, your basic loop. I put these on the head pin the way that I wanted them. And of course, that is going to be your decision how you want to stack these. But I just made a nice stack. And I'm just going to come in here and do a wire wrap loop. Just like this. Now, you may not want to attach with the jump ring. If you don't, at this point, you're going to open this and attach it to your loop. I liked the movement of having a few of those hanging off of the jump rings. So that's why I did it that way. So I'm going to close this. And this head pin was soft enough that I could just use my fingers. And I'm just doing a messy wrap. I'm not being very precise. This is what we call boho glam. It could be glamorous. It could be a little messy. I think when things are a little messy, they're a little more interesting to look at, frankly. Kind of like the tousled hairdo, if you will. You know, the messy bun. I guess that's what you could call it. The messy bun of the jewelry world. The messy wrap. If you had to have an analogy. Anyway, we're going to just tuck that one little piece in so nobody gets poked and we don't snag fabric. This will be a long necklace. I like to feel with my fingers just to make sure there's no pieces sticking out. So now we've got our one of our dangles, which is this one over here. And do note that I've mixed metals, which I love doing. We've got silver, we've got bronze, we've got gold, and I'm using silver head pins and silver wire, but I'm also using gold wire in the necklace. I think that just adds to the eclectic boho-ness of it all, if you will. So now we're going to wire wrap this one. Same thing, because these are both going on head pins. I mean, not head pins. Yes, they are on head pins, but they're going to go on some jump rings here in a minute. And I like these because when you do the messy wraps, they don't take any time at all. And you don't have to get stressed out about, is that perfect? Does that look right? You just kind of go for it. I love doing these boho necklaces too because they don't take very long. And they're very comfortable to wear. As you'll see, you just wrap it around your neck and then you can tie it any way you like. And this is great layering pieces as well. You can layer other necklaces. So now we've got these two dangles. Now we're going to make this long one because as you can see, I've got some wire rolling around through there. And so that's going to be kind of our main focal piece. And that's why I put it in the center. So what we're going to do for that, let me just move this over. We're going to take our 18 gauge wire. You could do 20 as well. Let me pull out a little bit. Okay. So we're going to use 18 gauge wire. And I'm just using the Wire Elements by Beadsmith. And you're going to pull a pretty long piece. Use more than you think. So literally you're going to do 12 inches. And I know that seems like a whole lot, but you'll see why. I ran out almost on that other dangle. Because I thought it was too much and it ended up being just enough. But if you have extra wire, you can save it and use it for other little projects later. So if you have something left over, don't throw it away. And now I'm just going to warm this with my fingers a little bit. It's not that bent, but I did notice some of the crystals. I had a hard time getting on the wire because it had a little kink in it. That was one of the reasons why I had to cut it. So just keep that in mind. And we do want to make a generous loop, a long loop, I should say. So we're going to take about 3 inches of this, and we're going to make our bend. Okay, and then we're going to come in and make a big enough of the loop that you can get it around this component, because remember, we're not going to use a jump ring on this piece. So we're going to make our loop. Okay, and now let me straighten this out just a little bit more. You're going to open this up, and we're going to attach it to our component just like this. If you want to use jump rings, that's up to you. Designer's choice. Now this I did wrap fairly neatly from the standpoint that we're going to be doing the swirl action. So you want to wrap this at least, I think I did 4 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want long enough so that you can wrap around this later when you come back around, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. Now we're going to cut this. Let's get rid of any sharp doodads. We don't want to get poked. We don't want our fabric snagged if we're wearing something nice. I think that's still sticking out. Don't be stubborn. Yes, I talked to my wire and my beads, and I talked to all of it. Okay, so now you have this nice long piece. So we're going to start with wrapping this. So as you can see, I have a blue bead, a potato chip bead, one of those quatrefoil beads, all those guys. So that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're just going to add everything. Just trying to go in the order. These were the crystal beads that kind of got kinked up when I had the bent wire. So just keep that in mind. I love these boho beads. So pretty. And this gives you a nice excuse to make a big old stack. Big old stack of stuff. Which looks really neat when it's all together. Another little potato chip bead. I think that's what everybody's calling them. I think somebody else said bent saucer or taco bead. I don't know. I guess it does look kind of like a little taco. And let's see, we want a rondelle here. And the only beads I introduced of my own were just a few little silver spacer beads because I wanted to mix metal. So there's your stack. And we do have a tassel we're going to put on the end. So now we're going to make another loop on this end. And I know we got a lot of wire, but we need it. So we're going to make our loop. And we're going to open that up. We're going to add our tassel. Come here, mister. There we go. And now, close that back up. Now here comes the fun part. So we do need to wire wrap. So we're going to do that first. So you're going to come in here, and your suede is going to want to get in the way, so kind of push it to the side. It may get caught, it may not. Just take your time. Be patient. Let me get a good grip on that. I'm going to wrap this about just so it fills in the hole right there. It may not be 4 times, but that's okay. Nobody's going to sit there and count. Now here's where you have this nice long piece and you have this stack. So I like to at least go around the middle bead, as you can see here. So you want to start thinking about bending this just gently. And if you hand warm it, it's going to be easier to go, but just take your time and you're going to start to wrap this. Think about the spaces between the beads too. Like that's a natural place to wrap it. And then maybe come across this big bead and you're going to wrap. Just take your time. Be gentle. Wrap. And come around here. And now you're down here. And so now with this long piece, you can wrap more. Again, take your time. You want to round it at least once. It kind of disappears into the long wraps you've already made, which is kind of cool. Kind of gives it a little optical illusion. And this does take some practice. What I would say is use more wire than you think you're going to need. I think that's probably my best advice on this technique. Do watch other tutorials. Other people do teach this. They have their own way. Sometimes the way I explain something might not work for you, but somebody can explain it a whole nother way and it makes sense. But this is what you end up with. Isn't that pretty? So now we're going to add our other dangles. Okay. And we're going to use our jump rings. And I think I have to grab one more jump ring. I think I did not count. These particular jump rings I'm using are 18 gauge jump rings, if you're wondering. And they are, I don't remember what brand they are, but they are a nice one. Do invest in good jump rings. I have been disappointed in the past buying jump rings that oh wow, those are really affordable. Well, there's a reason they didn't hold their shape, or, it just didn't, they didn't hold up to what I was doing, and it was very disappointing. So just try to buy the best findings you can for your budget. Okay, now this particular one on this side, I actually put inside that loop that I showed you earlier. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side if it'll fit. Yeah. I'm going to add that. Close that bad boy. Okay. Nope. Nope. There. Better. Now we're going to add this mix I got for my ambassador box. I just love it. And if you do click on the links in my descriptions, I am an affiliate, which means there is a monetary component to the link if you should click on it and purchase the Marcie Capone or the Rondelle or the Rhodonite strand. So I do need to make sure I disclose that and let you know that. Now I'm going to add this other little guy on here. I love this color combination. It's very regal. Okay, so now we have our other dangles. Just like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just secure this loose piece like I did here. And we're just literally going to take some 26 gauge wire, which I've got right here, some artistic wire, 26 gauge. Just take a few coils off. And I'm not really going to straighten this too much, but I am going to get started wrapping. I start at the bottom near the knot that I made. And you're just going to have to hold these two pieces of suede lace together as you touch this. So I pinch and then I take the shorter end and I start wrapping. As you can see, I'm not really letting go. This is just how I do it. I find this easier. But the short end, once you get it wrapped around and it's kind of anchored, then you can, of course, start with your longer piece, because you are going to have to go in and out of the, this is going to get in your way a little bit. So I like it coiled because it's easier to get out, you know, under the suede lace. And you're going to just start wrapping. This is not a fast thing, but I think it looks really cool. A nice little added touch. It's another way to add some shine and some sparkle to your piece. It adds texture. It does reinforce your little knot right here so that you don't have to glue it. Now you can glue it if you want. That's totally up to you. I think this will be secure enough without the glue. And I tend to get glue all over myself whenever I glue something. So I try to avoid glue like the plague. But there's times you have to use it. And if you're more comfortable using it, by all means use it. Don't let me stop you. So now that I've gotten around this a few times, I'm going to go over some areas just to make it look a little more uniform. Again, we're going for boho glam here, so we're not looking for perfection. But hey, those of you that can wrap something really neat, I'm not one of those people. I am a creative soul, but like when I wrap presents, they don't look neat. I can make you a jewelry, but if I have to put it in a wrap box, yeah, I go for the gift bags. I'm the gift bag girl. Speaking of gifts, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. I know I did. We had family over that I haven't seen in a long time. My nephews needed to stop growing. They're alarming me. And we had more food than should be allowed, and laughed a lot. And I was so exhausted. I felt so bad. I fell asleep partway through the evening, right on the couch. It was just like, okay, I'm done. And boy, was I tired. But it was 82 degrees here in North Texas. So it did not feel like Christmas at all. And that bummed me out. And then I found out that was the same temperature we had 4th of July. So, oh my goodness. It was just, and of course, you know, when you're cooking in the house and you have tons of people over, it gets so hot. Whew. I thought I was going to pass out. But I did have a great, great, great holiday. It seems like it comes really fast and it goes really fast. Okay, so I'm pretty satisfied with how I have this wrap now. So I'm going to start to anchor this. And what I mean by that is I'm going to just pick a spot and slide my wire through like a little bit of an opening. Let's see, I thought I had a little spot right there I could get. There we go. And just so it doesn't unravel on you. Okay, and then you can snip it. And I will hang on to this because I can do something else with it. And then you can come in with your flat nose pliers. And you can zhuzh and smush to your heart's content, as they say. Zhuzh and smush. Kind of work hardens the wire, and it also helps reinforce everything. And now I'm just going to feel around for any pieces that are sticking out. I feel a piece in there. I'm going to have to tuck him in. You just don't want anything sticking out and poking anybody. Okay. Now I did make some knots a little ways up. I did that for a guideline as to where you could probably tie this. But you could also add some beads if you wanted. So the idea with the Lariat, and there's different ways to do it. This one is a tied Lariat. So some of them have the loops at the end where you can slide a piece through. And I don't believe that's the case here. We can try it. It might work. It might. Okay. All right. Yes, it does work. So you can hang this. Oh, you know what? I want to trim this. I'm going to trim a little of this leather. There we go. I didn't want any parts sticking out. Yeah. Maybe I'll trim that guy a little bit. So actually good. So this worked out more, but even better than I thought. So when you're wearing this, you can slide one through and have a very loose, you know, some people wear them like this. You can wrap this around here and do another loop. Okay. It's all up to you how you want to wear it. And then it hangs this way. So gravity holds your dangles down and keeps it on your neck. And then you've got this nice soft, isn't that nice? Just around your neck, you don't have any hardware, which I love. And then you can layer some things with it as well. Or you can come up here higher and tie a little knot, as long as you know how to take it off later. But either way, I just think it's a cool, easy, no clasp type of necklace that, you know, depending on what mix of beads you have, you know, everything is in the front where everybody can see it. All the goodies are showing up and sparkly and lovely. And, you know, you could use, I mean, look how many beads I have left over. You could make a whole nother necklace and layer. Or a great pair of earrings. This piece I would love to do on some chain. That would be nice, you know, layered with this. I may do that. And, you know, that's totally designer's choice, of course. And any other beads that you have that you want to mix. That's why also I like to mix the metals. You could put a silver chain on with this or a bronze, and it would look really, really nice. So this is our Tuesday tutorial. Boho Glam necklace. I love it. Be so, so cute. For any kind of maybe New Year's party you got coming up. I know people are still celebrating. Maybe you're going to have a dinner with somebody who's been out of town or couldn't make it for Christmas. Maybe you're just going to go out with the girlfriends and reminisce and have a good time. Just the girls. I don't think you can go wrong with such a cute necklace. You can dress it up. You can wear it with jeans. I just love it. I'm definitely going to be sporting this somewhere. And this may have to be my New Year's Eve go-to. So anyway, thank you for watching the Tutorial Tuesday today. And I will be back next weekend with my weekend tutorials. And also some more amazing stuff from Jesse James Beads. I have an unboxing for December's box. Oh my goodness, you guys, that box is stunning. So stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you for watching. So like and subscribe. I cannot believe I'm over 500 subscribers and on my way to 600. You guys are incredible. And I thank you so much for all your kind words. And I'm so glad that I'm inspiring you and that you like what I'm teaching you. So take care of yourselves and your families and be safe. Happy New Year to you. I wish you luck, health, happiness in 2022. And you be looking for some more jewelry tutorials and inspiration from me. And we will have a great next year. Thank you again. Have a great evening.